Hi everybody, this is Ron. Before I get started on this lesson this week, I want Kirsten to come around here and I want you guys to take a look at what we allow them to wear at work around here. This is Halloween and this is Kirsten. This is not our normal garb we wear here all of the time. So,
It should be.
Yeah, right. Get behind the camera.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this lesson is about how to clear up a lot of questions we're getting from folks who just really don't understand this seller financing stuff. Now, this is a really basic lesson, so if you get this seller financing stuff, you might want to take a nap here on this one because this is going to be old school to you. If, however, you're like Kirsten and you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, then pay very attention and I'm going to try to clear up the plan here and how we make money on one little type of deal that we do with seller financing, which is a free and clear house, which is my favorite, by the way. But of course, we're not going to scratch the surface of it during this lesson. But I do want to get some basics across to you. And I think maybe I can explain this in a way that anybody can understand it. I hope. Anyway, I'm going to try. All right, Kirsten, if you'll zoom in on this board, we got a buy side and a sell side here. So let's say this is a free and clear house. By the way, if you want to screenshot this, you might want to save this so you can study it after the lesson.
I can post it.
Well, they can screenshot it. All they got to do is, it depends on how they're watching, save the screen. All right. So let's say the house is free and clear. All right. Seller calls you, or you call the seller on an ad they're running, for sale by owner ad, and you fill out the property information sheet. On the right side of the property information sheet, it asks the seller, will you take your equity in monthly installments? And the answer comes back yes. All right. Now you get on the telephone and you call the seller, since you know that they will seller finance, and you work out the terms by following my scripts that are in the manual. You find out that this $200,000 house, R, meaning after repaired value, now this house needs no repairs. This is a beautiful home in a beautiful neighborhood. So it would appraise right now for about $200,000. It's excellent condition. These kind of deals that I'm discussing here right now, by and large, they have nothing to do with foreclosures or repairs or any of that costly entanglement stuff. I'm going to show you how we get in, we get out, we make a bunch of money, and we get money every month for a long time to come on this one deal. I can have this deal done in and out before I can even get a repair estimate on a rehab job. So it's free and clear house. We know it's worth $200,000, and the seller agrees to sell it to us with owner financing for $180,000. So the seller owes nothing on the house. The seller says, I'll sell it to you for a $180,000 price, and we agree on him getting $10,000 as a down payment. So I'm going to give him $10,000 and owe him $170,000 of his $180,000 price. And where the seller financing comes in, that he's going to take back a first mortgage in a mortgage state, or a deed of trust in a deed of trust state, or perhaps another device like a land contract. Forget about the agreement for right now, because you will never write up that agreement. You do not need to worry about what agreement. You need to worry about the concept. It's your job to get the basics into a purchase and sale agreement, which is pretty simple to do once you have a meeting of the minds. The attorney does all the rest. In Florida, I'm a mortgage state, so I would give the seller back a $170,000 mortgage secured by their property. They would deed me their property, and I would give them back a $170,000 lien against their property that says I owe them $170,000 at $1,000 a month till whatever term that comes out to when it's paid off. Now in my case, I would structure it so that there's no interest, but whether I give them interest or I don't give them interest is a subject for another lesson. Right now, the key is they're going to get a $1,000 a month payment on a $170,000 debt. If it were principal only, obviously it'd pay off in 170 months, because all of it goes toward principal, which is the way I'm going to teach you how to structure these things, and you'll get that 90% of the time. You can get no interest loans by simply asking and learning how to do so. Now, I put it under contract to buy it for $180,000 with 10 down, $170,000 mortgage back to the seller, meaning they're going to receive a payment. The attorney's going to close it, and then they're going to collect $1,000 a month until they're paid off. Again, they'll get a first mortgage, the note, all recorded downtown, and we'll have to get a fire insurance policy and name them as the mortgagee and let the attorney close it. So now I own the house. Whether I've sold it yet or not, I own the house. The house belongs to me. The seller has exchanged real property for personal property in the form of a note and mortgage, paying them a monthly payment. Now, I decide I want to sell the house with owner financing. In this case, I put it on the market with no bank qualifying owner financing. And of course, they will come in droves. And if you don't believe it, just stick a nice house in a nice neighborhood on the market and put no bank qualifying owner financing and see what happens to your telephone. I promise you, you're not going to be able to handle the calls, because 80-some% of the people out there can't qualify for a loan. But hey, if there's owner financing and no banks involved, they can all qualify if they got enough down payment to satisfy me. So in my example, I'm offering it to the public for $210, which as far as I'm concerned is its new market value. If it's worth $200 with an appraisal, I promise you, if I put it on the market with owner financing and make it easy to buy, it is worth more than if I were going to cash out of it and get it appraised and go through bank financing. I could probably get even much more than $210. For the sake of this example though, I'm going to put it on the market, accept $210 as a sales price. $25,000 is the minimum I'm going to take down from my buyer, who I'm the only committee. If the buyer can convince me that they got enough money to satisfy me and that I believe they can make the monthly payment to me, then I am the committee. You know, your loan is approved. It only take a matter of minutes, not months and months and months. So they don't have, no banks involved here. No banks, there's no bank loans. I buy it with owner financing, no bank loans. We close on it in a few days. Whenever the seller's ready, I own it. I put it back on the market, I offer it with no bank loans. Here they come. I take $25,000 down, which means if I sell it for $210, they owe me $185. So I write a contract up that says I'll sell it to you for $210. You'll give me $25 down at closing, and you'll owe me $185 at $1,500 a month. So you always want to make sure that the incoming payment coming in is larger than your outgoing payment going out. So from that point on, I'll start collecting payments of $1,500 a month, of which I will pay $1,000 a month out every single month, and the rest belongs to me on a house I don't own anymore, because I've sold the house with owner financing. Taxes and insurance and maintenance and all responsibilities of ownership now belongs to my new buyer. It's their house, not my house. I'm just collecting money on leveraging my brain, not even my wallet. Remember, I bought the house with 10 down. I got 25 from my buyer. My guess is we are probably going to close these things on the same day if I don't want to come out of pocket with the 10 grand. So I'll bring the buyer in with the 25 and let the attorney close the purchase to me, and then the sale to my buyer. At the same time, take their money, fund the 10, cut me a check for $15,000 difference. That's really the smart way to do it. And now, look what I've created. By the way, when I sell it for $1,500 a month, I'm going to charge interest. I don't sell like I buy. If I buy with no interest, I'm not going to sell with no interest. I'm going to collect interest. That's the normal thing to do. So I'm going to let's put 6% on here. I don't know how many years that works out to. It doesn't really matter, because long before they're going to get paid off like this, they're going to go refinance it at the bank, most likely, and get their payment down anyway. And if I want to make sure of that, I just stick a 5-year balloon in here. That means in 5 years, they have to have me paid off by the end of that 5-year term. So I've collected, what I've done, I've created a $15,000 immediate cash flow in a few days, $500 a month, for however many years this thing goes on before this person refinances the property and pays it all off. And then of course on the back end, they owe me $185. I owe out a lot less than $170. Because you see, my friends, if I'm collecting principal and interest here in this $1,500, they're paying down their balance very, very little every single month. If I'm not paying interest over here, I'm paying down my balance $1,000 a month. So literally, if it took them, say, 3 years to pay me off over here, I've paid down $36,000 on this $170,000 loan here. So now my gap between the $185 and what they owe me and the $125 or $30 that I owe out, I'm going to get another $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 check on the back end of this deal. So by leveraging my brain, structuring this deal going in, making it real easy for buyers going out, I've created cash now, cash monthly, and cash later. And if this person does crap out on me along the way, no problem. Take the house back and go sell it again and collect another $25,000 down. So it's actually literally a modern day money machine. So I hope that was simple enough for you to understand it. So if you really want to get into this seller financing stuff, you've got to come join me. You get one shot at this and that's it. Then you're going to hate yourself if you're not there. So I'll see you soon.